Hey, everyone. It is Amber from Equalize Digital. I appreciate you all hanging out. I'm doing a little bit of troubleshooting in our Facebook group because my goal with these videos is to try and get them to stream both to YouTube and to the Facebook group. And I have sound in my headphones. I know it's working on YouTube because I can hear the video. So say hey in the chat. I love to hear who's here and who's watching. I am going to share my screen in a minute and dive in. I'm just trying to troubleshoot for a second. Okay, cool. It sounds like I just saw from Steve on Basecamp that it might be working in the Facebook group now. So I am going to share my screen and tell you a little bit about what I am going to be working on. Let me switch some stuff. I'm going to share my entire screen. All right, so I got a few, let me do one more thing. I will be so much better at this when it's not my first time. But I think we're going to figure it out together. So I do feel free if you have any thoughts that you want to share in the chat. I will be able to post them. If you are watching this video on YouTube or maybe even in Facebook, if you can like it, that will help me out so that more people will see it. What I am going to be doing is a series of videos every Thursday, except for the Thursdays when we have meetup. I am going to be spending time on the WP Product Talk website. I can actually click over there and show you. And let me adjust my screen. We don't want me big. We want the screen big. Let's see if this flips it. Oh, maybe. There we go. That's a little better. So you can see a bigger screen. So WP Product Talk is a podcast that I co-host with Katie Keith, Matt Cromwell, and Zach Katz. And Matt Cromwell built this website for us and has put all of the effort into it. And I had been thinking for a while that I wanted to showcase accessibility remediation. And it occurred to me that it would be good to do that on this website because, well, Matt did put a lot of thought into color contrast. I know we talked about color contrast when we were deciding on the colors for the branding. I think there are definitely some areas where this can be improved. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that sometimes when they look at an accessibility checker report, they're not sure where to start. So my goal here is to show how over a series of weeks, I am hoping that I can make this website Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.2 AA conformant by June 30th. That is my goal. I'm doing this around all of my other work, so we'll see once we dive in and we start seeing what some of the problems are. In 2 weeks, though, Matt Cromwell is going to join me. We're going to do this live stream a little bit earlier in the day since he is in Germany, and we're going to talk about some of the problems, and he's also going to help fix things. So I think this series should be a good look at what do you do, where you start, and how do you get to that 2.2 AA conformant level. So this is what the homepage looks like. There's some carousels right there that do some auto scrolling that kind of flag for me. Okay, I'm going to have to revisit those. We've got grids of episodes with play episode links or buttons. Not sure yet because I haven't inspected them. As I scroll down, I notice right away there's some animation on some of these numbers that say things like how many listeners we have, how many guests, episodes, and subscribers. Then we've got recent episodes with maybe some tabs or filters that change what episodes are visible. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to do some manual testing on. And then down at the bottom, I see an animated GIF that shows Matt, Katie, and Michelle Frechette laughing in a recording. And it's just playing. So there's a bunch here that I'm going to have to do manual testing as well. But I did spend some time in December. I installed Accessibility Checker and I ran a full site scan. So we have a few different post types on this website. We have under podcasting, we have episodes, we have different taxonomies, guests, co-hosts, topics, all of which have public pages that will need to be assessed. And then we do have a small handful of blog posts, and we have normal pages. So I turned Accessibility Checker on for all of those. I ran a full site scan, and where this stands right now uh, is 55.81% pass test, 213 unique errors, 25 color contrast errors, 517 unique warnings. Nothing's been ignored because I haven't done any work. We're seeing an average of 30 issues per page. And then I also am running the audit history plugin on here. It hasn't had any changes. Every day you can see the graph on total issues and past tests is flat. That's because I haven't done any work since I installed it. But hopefully over time, we're going to see our percentage of past tests go up and our total issues go down. So we want to cross and have them go in the opposite directions of where they are right now, where we've got total issues higher than our percentage of past tests. So we'll be able to check in on this as I do some work and track, but I'm going to close it for now. I have a doc, which I shared in the meetup that I did in December, and we'll probably have a link for that or a recap for that up for in a couple, maybe a week or so, because of the holiday, we're a little bit behind. But that is where I did some of my pre-planning and sort of looking at who's available, what resources we have, what problems might exist. And now, if I was doing this in-house and I was logging issues, I would have a Basecamp project. I would be creating tiles that I could assign to a dev. But we're not doing that right now. So I just have this document open because I'm going to add a bulleted list of things that I'm like, hey, I should talk to Matt about, or this might be beyond me and it might need a dev here. And then I'll have to circle back and figure out, okay, what do we do about those, since this isn't a project that has resources and that sort of thing. And so we have to decide what we want to do. Because of course that always happens, even in real life, where you might have a list of problems, but you have to figure out how you're going to resource people from your team to move them off of maybe what they're working on as far as new features to switch back to remediation or something like that. So I'm just going to leave this doc open, and I'll probably be circling back to it a little bit. So let me start with the first thing that I always do on a website, and the first thing that I always want to fix is I want to look for a focus outline. And the reason why I want to look for the focus outline is, one, it's a super easy fix, and two, it is really helpful to have that focus outline when you're testing to make sure your focus goes in the right place. So I'm on the front of the website. I'm going to hit, actually, let's reload it and make sure I'm up at the top. I'm going to hit tab. In the admin bar, I'm seeing a focus outline. Now beyond, I've got a skip to content link. Oh, we can check that while we're here. I'm going to hit return because it's a link, even though sometimes they look like buttons. And I'm going to expect it to jump me down past. It didn't do anything visually, but if I hit tab again, I am now on this start listening button. So what it did do was the correct behavior, which is that it did not force me to tab through those. So I know that my skipped content link works. So I say, okay, good. That's an awesome thing. Let's go backwards. I'm just going to check for missing focus outlines. There's a nav menu with a down caret. I'm going to hit return, tab through. If y'all have any questions as I'm working on this, feel free to post them in. I think I can put things up on the screen, like Adrian's feedback. She said, I'd be breathing into a paper bag if I saw that many issues on a page. We're going to dive in, though, because sometimes they're not all real issues. Sometimes they are manual things you have to check. But first of all, let's just finish our little tabbing through. I am noting there's a focus outline around these people and our amazing guests and hosts, but it's super subtle right there. I'm probably going to circle back to that. I'm going to just do a little like screenshot here for myself. Again, this is not 100%. You might be creating GitHub issues. You might be creating Basecamp tiles or some other project management tiles, but I'm just going to put it in my Google Doc focus outline needs improvement. So technically, this is okay because there is a focus outline. but it's definitely not best practice. So we want to, I can figure out what tile I'm on. But there is a focus outline. It needs to be improved. We don't want it to be cut off. This button, I think, is the same scenario. There's like a focus outline. The color changes. I think we need an outline offset, and we need to make sure that in some places it's not. Oh, here we go. There's just an underline, see? So I'm going to have to dive into all this because I didn't build this website. I know that it's a Cadence website, but there's a lot of components on it that I'm not familiar with. But generally what I'm going to say as far as my focus indicator is it's present. I haven't really found any instances where it's literally missing. It's just places where it needs to be improved. I'm able to tab through everything. It goes in the right order. So that's good. So that's like my first thing that I always check for. If I had needed to, I would have just gone in. This does not have any sort of dev workflow, and all of the developers who are watching this right now might be totally freaking out when I say this. But I don't believe this is a version controlled theme. And I'm fairly certain that I might be putting some CSS in the customizer as I do this. Now, I'm not sure. That's part of why I'm going to have Matt come and chat with me, because one of the things I noticed when I was first looking at this and trying to figure out, okay, what's my game plan going to be if I go over to Appearance Themes, I noticed it's only running Cadence. It doesn't have a child theme, which I think is something that when Matt comes on with me in 2 weeks, we're going to need to debate. Because I think it's going to be a lot harder to fix things without a child theme. I could be wrong, but I think we need to fix that. So William asked a question, which I want to go back to, which I think is a pretty good question, which is, why does the episodes link in the navigation also have a focus on the dropdown? Is that a button? So it should be a button. I'm going to hit a space bar, which does open and close it. So it is a button. And so probably what this is, and this is a good thing, this is what you want to see on a nav menu. I also haven't tested mobile yet, but we'll come back to that. Is there is a link here that goes to the /episodes page. And then somewhere after that, here's the button. There is an actual button with an ARIA label child menu of episodes. And then it has ARIA expanded equals false on it. If I were to open that, oh, okay, this is a little weird. I can't click that button with my mouse, which I find, I don't know if that's a failure, but it's a little odd. We'll open it with my space bar now that I've gone back to the page and inspect it. So we should see on that button, let's see. Oh, I think I know why. I think that button is like hidden behind. So can I get it to show you the truth? There we go. So now it says ARIA expanded equals true. But when I move my mouse, it goes away. I think that could be, and if I hover and expand it, it doesn't change. I think that probably could be improved a little bit. I don't know that that's actually a problem with the theme. That's something that we might want to report to. It's a problem with the theme. It's not a problem with this specific instance, because as we saw, we're not running a child theme. So it could be a problem that we want to report to Cadence and say, hey, this should probably be improved a little bit. That said, for a screen reader user, and I don't think we're going to do a screen reader today, but we'll probably do some screen reader testing on a different day. This is a relatively good, I think, experience, would be my guess, just by looking at the code. I think it gets a little bit more wonky for a mouse user who maybe wants to toggle that open by clicking on the button. So rather than having to hover. And why would that be important? Because someone who has maybe jittery movements, like they have Parkinson's or they have arthritis and they have a hard time hovering, if they accidentally move out, you don't want your nav to go down. or to disappear. So having a button that is clickable is really helpful, because then if they accidentally move out, it doesn't go away. They can open and close it intentionally rather than accidentally. So that'll be something probably that will get reported to the theme developer. I think that's one of the things that I'm going to do a lot throughout this series, is try and figure out what can I report and try to get other people to fix for me. Not just because I'm being lazy or I maybe can't fix it. And this happens sometimes where you don't encounter something, and even our developers have said things like, well, there's not a filter for this, or there's not a hook for this. And I would have to completely rewrite. I think there was an instance with Affiliate WP at one point where we just made our own short code to render something because there was no way to fix the short code in Affiliate WP. So if you're like, okay, well, we just have to totally recode this thing. But if you can report it to the plugin or theme developer and they fix it, then that makes the web better for everyone, not just for your website. So where I can, I'm probably going to start there and see what that does. Let's see. Adrian asks, is it too late to create a child theme? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if any of our developers here can weigh in on that. I have no idea what would happen if I made a Cadence child theme and install. I think if it had almost nothing in it, it wouldn't override this. But I don't know. It is definitely something we're going to have to figure out, because that surprised me a little bit when I started looking at this website. Okay, so let's go take a look at our open issues that Accessibility Checker found, because again, I'm still just in exploratory mode. I'm trying to figure out what there is, and then I'm going to figure out my game plan. So the first one is that has a lot is link opens new window or tab. This is a huge debate. There are people who love to open new windows or tabs anytime you link offsite. They're like, it has to go in a new window or tab. You need to warn people. The reason why is that when a link opens in a new tab or a new window, you can't use the back button to go back. You have to actually close the tab or the window in order to go back. And so the keyboard functionality that you would have to do if you were a blind person is different. And if you can't see that it's opening in a new window or tab, then you don't know, or it's not as easy to figure out. Obviously, you can figure it out. People who are blind are very smart, and they have encountered a lot of junk on the web that they've figured out how to work around. But the best practice is either to not do it or to warn about it. My preference here is to just not do it, especially when I think what these are is it's a repeat, right? So we can see there's a lot. So there's subscribing in RSS feed. There's also our social links, which I'm pretty sure are down here. Totally are. So I bet you these are set to open in a new window tab. So let me look and see if Matt has any sort of code plugin on this site. Because what I do know is while Cadence doesn't have a setting for this, there is a code. Oh, look, there's something that says snippets. Wait. It's always fun looking at a website someone else has built. Code snippets. This seems perfect. All right. I'm gonna try and fix this one right now, because I did ask Matt. I said, "What am I allowed to fix without talking to you?" And let's see. He said basic things are probably okay. So I'm going to Google this because I'm pretty sure they have a snippet. Social icons don't open new tab. Oh, there we go. Cadence support forums. Well, okay, hold on. I got to log in order to do this. Let's see if I can still access this. We'll log in. Okay, so all I have to do is add this filter like that. Add filter, cadence, social link, target, return true. And they have a help doc that tells you how to add it with the code snippet. So that's changing the logo. So I think all I need to do, this is a little weird because normally we wouldn't necessarily do this. Don't judge me. This is not the way we necessarily work on our client sites. This is totally how I work on my own site, which is I sometimes try things on a live website. And I did ask Matt if we had a staging site, and he's like, oh, I don't know. So I'm pretty sure we're going to add that filter right in there. We're going to say, I got to name it. Don't open social links in new tab cadence. And we're going to run it everywhere. Wait, no, only on the front end. We don't need to run that in the admin. Someone can tell me if they think I'm about to break things. Save changes and activate. Snippet created and activated. Let's go look at the front end of our website. So this is the way it looked before. There's a link, target underscore blank. I'm wondering if I have to figure out if we have caching on this website. We'll find out. Refresh. Inspect that same link. There's no target underscore blank. Look at that. I really like things like this. So now when I click it, it goes to the same tab. So that was easy. Now here's an interesting thing that sometimes comes up with Accessibility Checker, which is that if I were to look at this, it's still, all those issues are still going to be there. Why is that? Because this is in every page in the footer, and I would have to rescan the whole site in order to make them go away. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to clear this out. I'm going to let it run in the background. I'm going to hit new accessibility check. It's going to tell me 11 posts will be checked, 14 pages will be checked, 83 episodes will be checked. Run the check. It's queued. It's just going to start running. I'm going to leave that tab open, but I'm going to stick it somewhere else, hopefully, so I don't keep clicking on it. It is running now, so you can see it's just going to run in the background while I keep working. So Adrian had an interesting comment, which is she said that I'm cited, and I will say if I expect any links on a site to open in a new tab, it's social links. Yeah, I think that is a common thing. On our website, though, we don't do it, and I've never heard anyone complain. I think marketers, I feel like, have this idea that if I always have to open different links because I don't want people to leave my website. Or if they leave my website, then I'm going to lose business or something like that. But in my opinion, and what I've seen is people know how to come back. And if they want to come back, they will. So let's make it easy for them to come back and have the normal expected interaction, which is that things don't open in a new tab. If you want a link to open in a new tab, as a mouse user or even a keyboard user, you can use a right-click interaction and click open link in new tab, open link in new window, and that will do it for you. So really the idea behind this is to give users the choice. They can always choose to open something in a new tab, but if you set it to target underscore blank, then they won't have the choice because there's no way to open in same window if it's set to open in a new tab or new window. So yeah, I don't know. I'll say sometimes our customers give us pushback on this, but it is something that can be very helpful for certain users to not have that happen. Now, the other item, if we go back and look at this is running, so these numbers should end up getting smaller. But the other items that show up here are maybe not from that. So these are still going to be here. So in this special episode, let's see if I can find it, view on page. Oh, wait. Look, I found a problem. I don't see our accessibility checker plugin on this page. I wonder if Steve and William are still here. That's an interesting thing. Why don't I see that? Do I see it on the? I also don't see it on the front end of this website. This might be, we encountered this recently, a Cloudflare bug or something, or a performance plugin delaying our scripts. So now I have something I'm going to write down because I don't know if they're here, that I'm going to have to go figure out later, which is why doesn't accessibility. Oh, okay. Steve's going to help. Look, this is awesome. This is why it's good to have a developer friend. Let's open the console. So you have to be careful with performance plugins. They can block things. I should invite Steve to this live stream. Steve, you want to come to the live stream? You can show us how to debug this if this happens on someone else's site. Let's see. We'll see if he decides to pop in. Otherwise, I'm going to look and see if I can figure this out. I'm going to scroll up, though, so I don't have that animated GIF that drives me a little bit bananas. All right, let's see. Why is this not loading? Steve says it could be a JavaScript delay issue. That's what I was thinking. I posted a Restream link in Basecamp for Steve. We'll see if he pops in here. So let's see. Open Assistant. Okay, so that's a Grammarly thing. That's a Grammarly thing. We've got unchecked runtimes, but I don't know what these are. This is where I sometimes am just like, I don't know what to do. We'll move on if he's not able to join, but we'll see. Oh, there he is. Hey, Steve, Happy New Year.
Hello. Happy New Year.
No, you were going to be live streaming today, did you?
No, I did not.
I should have, see, this is the whole, I just installed it, ran a full site scan and went away. And I was like, I'm going to live try and figure stuff out. And then here we go.
Yeah.
So tell me if, because this might show up on other people's websites, what do you do if the front end of Accessibility Checker isn't loading?
Well, I mean, if you're a pro customer or a paid customer, you definitely should reach out to our support, and we'll help you with this. But yeah, so this has come up, and I do think it is something with a
so there's a performance plugin right here.
Yeah, there's a performance plugin, and we actually do have a patch for this that is unreleased. That I was actually just working with our developer William on getting some of these things released today, since we're back for the new year. So
yes, so is this a I should just wait and we'll see it on the front end in a little bit, or is this you can tell me something I could change in my performance plugin to make it show up?
Yeah, what performance plugin was it? Was it Perf Matters?
It said no, it said solid, I think.
Oh,
solid performance. So that's probably from the solid. I mean, this is a Cadence website. It's all like solid, stellar WP plugins, right? So no, solid security, solid performance. I haven't seen this one before.
Yeah, I haven't. That may be a new plugin. But a caveat here is that Amber is on a live production website.
I know. I asked Matt, I was like, do we have a staging site? And he's like, not yet.
So you could try disabling that plugin as the quickest.
To be fair, well, everyone should listen to this podcast. It is amazing. I also don't know that we have 1 million people on this website right now. So if I turn off caching for a moment,
yeah,
it probably won't. It's not like deactivating something that makes it look bad, right? It just might load a little slower.
Right.
So, right? Okay. There's also Cloudflare. Is that's what you were working on before, right? Because Cloudflare can also have performance stuff.
Yeah. Certain. I'm not sure that the Cloudflare out of the box on web hosts, but certain web hosts do have a level of caching that actually delays all the JavaScript. So that can
Mm.
that and what it does, it actually delays our JavaScript from the accessibility checker, causing it to fail to load because
All right, so
the
I'm going to, for a
latency.
minute, deactivate our performance plugin.
Mm.
So I did that, I think. Where did it go? Yep, okay. So this is fun. This is troubleshooting in WordPress. You literally do whack-a-mole with deactivating things. It's not there. I swear this was there in December, but
Yeah,
maybe
but
I.
so this is your view on page link. Like, do you notice how the URL is missing the accessibility checker parameters?
Oh, no. This is just the front end because it's not even there. Where was the one where I clicked? This was the one that has the parameters that would pop up. So whenever someone clicks view on page, it adds this logic, which is what tells it what issue to highlight. But
Right,
see,
right.
we also don't have the front end view here.
Yep. And if you view the console on this page, what was it showing?
Let's see. What is it showing? Grammarly errors, and that's it.
Hmm. And this is a
And this unchecked runtime, but I don't know what this means.
right,
What
right.
does that
And
mean?
this is not an archive page. This is a single,
Uh, yeah, this is a podcast single in that custom post type.
and that custom post type is selected to be in the settings of accessibility checker.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, it wouldn't have scanned it otherwise, but yeah, right there,
Yeah,
podcast.
I mean, but it could have scanned it before, and then it could be
Oh,
disabled. Yeah,
disabled now. Yeah,
but that's an
so
interesting
it
one.
is turned on.
Yeah. So I
All
think
right, so I need to open a support ticket for
that's right.
accessibility checker
Yep.
and maybe watch for that issue. I'll turn our performance plugin back on. I
Yeah.
am wondering if it's Cloudflare because I saw before the break that there was somebody that it was related to Cloudflare
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Most
they
likely.
they were like, because I think that was a weird one where they had said that it worked on their staging side but it didn't work on their production side.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of the Cloudflare layer of caching that they had disabled on staging. So yep.
Mm-hmm.
So open an issue. We're looking to it, and we'll get a fix put out. Hopefully, the fix that we already have will actually resolve that. But happy to
Yeah.
jump on and do some live troubleshooting.
Yeah, well, thank you. Feel free to jump off if you want, or you can hang out. I was gonna go back. Well, I'm gonna move forward because obviously, like sometimes that happens, right? You run into an issue or something you aren't sure how to fix, and you just move forward and keep going.
Yep.
So I'm gonna look through this. If you want to stay and hang out, you can. Otherwise,
All right.
it was
Well, I'm
good
going to
seeing
jump off.
you.
So
All right, thanks, Steve.
see you guys.
All right, it's so much fun to have a developer that you can hang out with. How do I make my screen big again? Let's maybe. No, that's the same. That's not helpful. Oh, here, let's do that. You don't even need to see me as big as you were seeing me before. So, all right, we're going to go back to open issues. I'm going to have to figure out why that wasn't working on this site, and I will definitely report back when I live stream again, or maybe sooner. And let's see. William had asked if there's a Cloudflare rocket loader. I don't even feel like digging into that Cloudflare thing right now, so we will definitely assess it and figure it out. But let's take a look at what other things. I'm going to skip some of these other warnings. Um, I think it's kind of cool to see something that was fixed, which is why I looked at that link opens new windows or tabs. But what I really want to look at is errors, things that are bigger problems. So empty link right there, that's something that I would look at right away that flags for me. And I bet you it looks like there's 146 of those. There's also 126 linked image empty alternative text. So we're going to take a look at this. And I can see there's a bunch of icons for the plugin, which is sort of interesting. I really want to know. Oh, it's slightly frustrating that it's not working on the front end right at this moment because it's so much easier. Part of me wants to turn off that Cloudflare, but I don't know what all it's doing, so I'm not going to do it on the live website. All right, let's look and see if I can find that image here. Oh, is it in the footer? It's linked to the home page. Oh yeah, totally. So we have a link in our footer that is linked to the home page, and it's an image of the icon, and there's no alternative text on it. So let's fix this because this is global. It's going to show up everywhere. Linked images are super annoying. Empty links, period, are annoying because they might just say link. Sometimes it'll try to read out, a screen reader would try to read out the URL. But it would be especially annoying when it's an image because sometimes it reads out the image file name. So this, in Cadence, we've got widgets. And here's my image. And also super annoying. I think if we open this in the media library, we can fix this. There we go. So there's no alt text set on this image in the media library. I don't want to describe the image. Like I don't want to say WP product talk icon because then a screen reader user would hear link WP product talk icon, and that would make them think that it's just going to open the icon really big. So what I actually want to put is WP product talk homepage or just home, right? Something that describes the purpose of the link. So I've added that. I've hit publish. Let's go out and just make sure that worked. So we're going to see this. Oh no, did I do something where editing it removed the link? Extra fun. Let's fix that. I don't know why editing it would have removed the link, but we'll click on it again. Widget 3. No, that's not widget 3. Looks like widget 3. Footer 5. Okay. And we had this link to the homepage. Where's it going to go? It's interesting that well, look at that. I replaced the image, I removed the link, and it won't let me type it in. This is where I sometimes get super frustrated with WordPress when I'm just like, it seems so easy. Why is it not? I don't want to link to the image file. I don't want to link to an attachment page. I don't want to expand on click, but it will not literally let me paste in a URL. Maybe we can search for the home page and then it will pull it up. Let's type home. Nope. That also won't work. Well, sorry, Matt. I removed the link from this. Oh, wait. I have an idea. This is the customizer. Let's go appearance widgets. See if that footer widget area is there. Got it. Footer 5, I think that was called. There it is. Can we link it here? Let's see. Yep. So I'm going to go with that is a WordPress bug. Don't know why. Do not know why. It works in the widget section, can't get it to function in the customizer. We'll close this out, make sure that the link is back there again. There's my link. There we go. Seems like a customizer bug. Probably that should have a track ticket, or maybe it already does. But yeah. So what else am I looking at here? Going back to accessibility checker, open issues, and let's see. So linked image, empty alternative text. There were quite a few of those there. Okay, this is a big one. It looks like all of our images for our products. So we can see this is on the home page, and this is the cover image for one of the episodes. It says, "Are your customers loyal?" And it has the guest and Katie and Matt. And if we go back to our home page, this is right down here is where all these show up. And the image is linked over, but there's no alternative text, which tells me that I suspect we haven't been adding alternative text as they've been added into the media library. Like if I were just to click through some of these, it looks like most of them do not have any alternative text. This is an annoying problem to see because it's frustrating. However, it's frustrating because it's not a great practice both for accessibility and for SEO, but it is actually a very easy problem to fix. So it's a problem that can kind of make me be like, okay, we can fix that. I'm not going to make you watch me write a bunch of alternative text. So I'm going to go through. Now, a thing that I'm going to have to assess is when it's the featured images, you can go through the media library and I can use this alternative text field right here. And that will then go ahead and fix it wherever it shows up as alternative text. So as a featured image on like an archive or somewhere else, like related episodes, this probably pulls the featured image and gets the featured image thumbnail. Up here at the top, this might do it. But if you were to have an image embedded in the post, like let's say we have an image here, if I go and fix it in the media library, it won't fix it in the body of the post. I would actually have to edit one of them. William asked me, can I test it? I think that is a great idea. So we are right here on the European Accessibility Act post with Rian. Let's go find that. First let's look at it. I also find this a little interesting. Oh no, that's the video. Pause that. All right, let's look at one of these down below. Let's just see if it's missing alt text. So build organic growth with SEO is this image, and it is linked over there. This one has an ARIA label. All right, let's go back to the homepage because maybe I can actually find one there that was empty. We saw on the homepage. Let's see, is this one empty? No, this one has an ARIA label. What was one of the ones that was flagged? Did I leave? I totally did. This is what I do. I sometimes lose my tabs. Let's go back to the back end and see which one. I find a specific example that was actually flagged. Open issues. Link. Are your customers loyal? Oh, I don't need this. And that's on the home page. Let's figure out where that is on the home page. So much easier when you can click that. Okay, so they're here. Are your customers loyal? Image. And this one is not pulling in the ARIA label. So let's go find it in the media library. The downside on this is, okay, it looks like we have a file naming convention of our episode number. Because I don't know if just typing like loyal will find it. Oh, it did. Look at that. That's handy. So, are your customers loyal? Episode. Because I want to describe where it's going, right? Now we'll look at this section in a different way also. All right, I clicked away and that saved it. Are your customers loyal? Let's go refresh the home page. And we'll see. Ooh, it scrolled me. Oh, it's because I had hashtag name. That's why it scrolled me up. And we'll inspect this. And no, it doesn't have alt. It didn't work. Wait, let's make sure that we don't have weird caching. I'll put a random string on the end. All right. Nope, it's still not pulling it. Okay, so that tells me I can't fix it in the media library. So let's edit this page and see how this section is built. So depending on how this is built, I saw some conversations just a minute ago about ARIA label. Oh, so it's not really pulling. Okay, the reason why, why did it not work? Does anybody know? The reason why it did not work to edit it in the media library is that this is like the example I was talking about before, which is I thought this was a loop of posts where it just automatically went out and got the ones that were most popular by, I don't know, page views or some other metric, but it's not. This is actually a hard coded section where we have two columns and we've literally put the content into the page. It's not pulling it out. So, because this image has already been inserted into the page, it is not going to get alternative text from the media library. So if I want to fix all of these, I think it looks like they're all empty. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I probably can see them all in my accessibility checker report. Let's see. Yeah, empty links. I have to actually fix them all right here on the page. So let's do that. So Spotify, this needs to say listen on Spotify. Is our RSS empty? Oh, this is a button. So like it looks like an image, but it's actually a button. What's this one? This one is an image and it already had alternative tests. Listen on Pocket Cast. So we got that. We'll go down here. This is the linked image. Are your customers loyal? What is a little weird that the title next to it is different? So I always debate this. Um, Adrian asked if you delete and re-add the image, will it work? And normally I would say yes. I could delete the image, reinsert it from the media library, and then it would pull what I had from the media library. That's actually more work, I think. So I probably wouldn't ever take that approach because there's also different oddities around things. Also, what I'm not 100% sure about is that this is the image advanced block from Cadence, which I'm not familiar with. I haven't used this block before. So I'm assuming that it will fill this in if it's filled in from the media library, but I'm not sure. Now, here's another question, and this is something that I'm going to probably talk about with Matt in 2 weeks when he and I do our live stream, is I'm debating whether we actually need to have the image linked and play episode linked. And I'm wondering, is the title is also linked? Let's go look at this on the front end. It's like it's a lot of tab stops for one piece of content. We're gonna get past there. All right, so we've got the image, we have the title, and we have the play episode button. What would be cool to see, and I don't know if this is possible in Cadence, but like, could I put a link around this entire column? I don't think I can. That would be neat, right? I could have the entire thing like card style. The other possibility is maybe we really need this linked for mouse users because we really think, maybe we've run Hotjar or some other kind of tracking, and we want people to be able to click this with their mouse and go there, but we don't need keyboard users to get this and this and this, right? 3 different tab stops. Then what we could do is we could put aria hidden equals true and a negative tab index on this link. But of course, then that comes in the land of, okay, now I need custom dev to do that. Or I need a separate plugin, which we might play around with next time, that adds custom attributes for blocks. So I could add those to hide this for keyboard users. I'm not sure. It's something I want to discuss with Matt before I make that change. So what I am going to do right now is at least ensure that these are not empty links for people. In the future, I might circle back and I might improve it by removing the tab stop. But the extra tab stop is much less worse of a problem. It's more of an annoyance than a WCAG failure. And the WCAG failure is that we have empty links. So I'm going to circle back to fixing them, and improving them. And right now, what I'm going to try and do is just try to get rid of as many WCAG failures as possible. So we'll just go ahead and do this. Marketing your WP products. All I'm doing. Oh look, I did it all caps. That's annoying. All I'm doing right now is including the text that's in the image in the alternative text. Arguably, this might not be the best approach. It might be better to have the title of the episode, but again, like, it's kind of duplicative, and then they miss out on, this is almost like extra CTA text. So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on that, but I'm going to not go through the rest. Oh, I guess there's only 4. So let me do the rest real quick here. This one says how product UX transforms your WP product. The other thing that's interesting on some of these is, so this one had text. It said special episode, the plugin directory, and it says faces of Mika Epstein, Matt Cromwell, Zach Katz. And that's what I was about to get to. So it's kind of funny that I saw that on this one. Is for some people, seeing who was in the episode might be motivation to follow the link. I don't think I would see faces. I think I would just change this to say with, right? Mika Epstein, Matt Cromwell, Zach Katz. I'm going to say and, because I like it to sound like a sentence. I don't think it has to necessarily. But so these might be enhanced if I went back through them and I added the name of the people who were in the episode, because that does provide extra information. Also, we don't really want, sometimes screen readers read things weird when they're in all caps. So even if it's just in the alt text, we don't want to do it. Okay, let's save this. And saving it should trigger accessibility checker to rescan. Now I'm a little nervous because the front end wasn't loading. That doing a rescan is going to make this not fix the problems in accessibility checker. It's always fun to try things live, but let's see. Go down here to the bottom and see if we got, oh, we did. Look, now we only have 2 empty links. This one, this is a literal link with nothing, which tells me it's probably a mistake. I need the view on page to work in order to find this. So we're going to circle back to this next time. And our GIF, which is actually in the footer and is linked over to a YouTube URL, which I don't click go. But anyway, we did do some improvement. I'm starting to get a feel for what this is. I think what I'm going to do, so this is the I'm going to stop for now because I'm going to stick to an hour on these. I know that I could definitely very quickly turn this into Amber Talks for like 3 hours and just plays around the WP Product Talk website, but I'm going to respect everyone's time. I am going to be live with Matt Cromwell on, let me find that date so I don't forget it. It's in 2 weeks. Next week, we have WordPress Accessibility Meetup. We're going to be talking about navigation menus. So if you have not, you can go to equalizevisual.com/meetup to find information and RSVP for that. On Thursday, January 16th, Matt Cromwell is going to join me on the stream at 8 a.m. Central Time. And I know it's pretty early for folks on the West Coast, but we're respecting his Germany time zone. So we're going to be up early, and he and I are going to talk through some of these things. We'll probably talk about the card links or those links, the child theme, whether we want to assess that or not. And I'm going to continue working through. I want to get the header and footer and the homepage as close to fixed as possible in the next couple weeks. So that is my goal. I might end up doing a little bit of time outside these live streams, but primarily it's going to be during the live streams because I want to show people. Obviously, I'm not going to show you writing alternative text, but I had an idea right now, and you can tell me what you think. I might test out some of those automated alternative text plugins, and we can all debate how useful they are. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel so you get notified. Like this video, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with Matt Cromwell to keep working on the WP Product Talk website.